8-5 just simply reads, a population consists of the following four values, and in Chapter 8 we're going to talk about sampling and a few other things, but the values are 12, 12, 14, and 16. So it says list all samples of size 2 and compute the mean of each sample. So it doesn't really matter, what the order is. So when I list all of these, I get, of course, it could be 12 and 12, 12 and 14, 12 and 16, the second 12 paired with 14, the second 12 paired with 16, and then the 14 and the 16 paired. You guys, of course, have 5 rather than 4, so you'd have a few more samples. And then what's the mean of these samples is what they're asking, right? And so the mean of this is simply equal to, I used this formula, and you could use the average function as well, but this plus this, oops, and I need to use parentheses because I'm mixing up functions, divided by 2, right? Okay, and I can carry that down, and that gives me what the mean is of each of those sample pairs. Okay, and then it asks me to compute the mean of the distribution of the sample mean and the population mean. And again, the population mean over here was given to me, so I've labeled the sample mean and the population. I'm sorry, this should just be the sample, and this is the population here, but the mean is what I'm solving for down here. And again, that's simply using the sum and the average of those. And likewise for this. Okay, and I end up not surprised that I end up with the same mean for each, but then it asks me lastly, compare the dispersion in the population with that of the sample mean. Well, my dispersion, or kind of my range, right, from here is 12 to 15, and from here it is 12 to 16. Okay, so my sample mean, and that's incorrect. I probably shouldn't call that the sample mean. Yeah, I think the book maybe of my sample, right, is the sample has, I'm going to correct that, has a little less dispersion, right? Because the mean wouldn't matter. The dispersion isn't really in the mean; it's in the values that are in the total here, the data set. So anyhow, my sample has a little less dispersion. So there you are. And I should have added, and I did the math on here, and I'm sorry, but to determine then how many I have, remember I went back, if you go back to chapter 2, and we use the combination formula here, statistical, and go to combination. Maybe it's not in statistical, is it in math? And there it is. So I use the combination formula. My number returns the number is the total number of items, so I have 4 there, right, in that population. But I'm gonna put 2. I'm gonna have 2 for each, okay, and that will tell me then how many of these pairs I should have. So you guys will do that, and of course you'll be 5 and 2, and it'll tell you how many pairs then you should have. Just should help you out a little bit.